Welcome everyone to VeloNut. I'm Jeff Whitfield and I am here in downtown Dallas ready to do some gravel riding. What? I bet you're wondering how that works. Well, I'll show you. Near downtown Dallas, two bridges run over the Trinity River. The Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge, with its characteristic arch and support cables, and the Ronald Kirk Bridge, a pedestrian bridge that acts as our main entry point to the Trinity Levee trail system. The Trinity Levee system is 24 miles in length and has over 40 miles of dirt, gravel, and paved trails stretching out on each side of the Trinity River. While there are multiple ways to get onto these trails, the easiest way is to simply ride down a ramp near the Ronald Kirk Bridge. While most of the roads on top of the levee are gravel, the roads and the trails in between the levees and the river are a mix of various types of terrain. You'll find everything from hard-packed gravel, loose slushy gravel, freshly graded gravel, washboard, dirt, mud, sand, shitty asphalt, potholes, and everything in between. And after a series of hard rains, you just never know what to expect, especially with high waters off the Trinity. When in doubt, sometimes you just have to go around. Once you're down in the valley, as I like to call it, the only way in or out of the trail system is through ramps, which this one is made out of concrete, which are only a few of them like that. But the rest of them are all predominantly gravel, which, as you'll soon see, are actually quite a challenge to get up and down. But hey, let's speed things up and look at the rest of the trail. I recently posted up a review of the WTB Riddler, a 700C by 35mm tire that I feel is an actual model gravel tire. So let's talk about that. Here's the thing about the WTB Riddler. If you look on the tire, you'll see that there is a very light tread around the center line of the tire. Now, it's really good for, say, Category 1, Category 2. You can do some Category 3. Definitely not Category 4, though. But if you look on the outside, you got this chunkier edge. And what I find is if you run lower pressures, say around mid-40s roughly, maybe even lower, depending on how heavy you are, that'll actually get you through a lot of the chunkier, say, Category 3 areas quite well. And maybe even some Category 4, depending upon, kind of how your mileage will vary. I mean, let's just get it clear. Really, I think with WTB, what they call the Rattler is kind of a chunkier version of the Riddler, and I haven't ridden on that tire, but I can almost guarantee that particular tire will probably be better, if I would say presume that if you're going mostly on Category 3 and Category 4, you might want to consider the Rattler. Otherwise, if you're predominantly Category 1, Category 2 with some Category 3 gravel, like I ride, this is a really good tire. And that brings us to the end of our little gravel ride. Now, with a little bit of planning, you can do at least a good 35 or 40 miles on the trails, and there's not a whole lot of elevation changes except for the ups and downs on the levees. But hey, there's a lot of different types of terrain, and it's still a heck of a lot of fun. And there you go, folks, gravel riding on the Trinity Levee. Now, what I did was just scratch the surface. I only rode like maybe 10 or 11 miles of it. Just a little loop, just to kind of give you a little taste. Now, there's actually quite a bit. You can actually ride up on the levees. There's good areas in there where you can ride a good 8 miles. They're out and back. And there's some other areas I haven't even explored yet. So down in the valleys, up on the levees, there's just a ton you can do. Now, as far as riding on the WTB Riddler, definitely surpasses the Specialized Pathfinder Pro, in my opinion. And, you know, it's really got me thinking that for my 650B wheel set, I'm almost tempted to even try out the Ventures on that one when it comes around. I have WTB Horizons on that one right now. And once those Horizons wear out, I'm probably going to look more towards something a little bit more beefier for, you know, those times when I actually do want to get into some pretty gnarly gravel. So, we'll see. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and hope you get out there and, I don't know, ride some gravel. Later.